All right, welcome back, guys, to AZ Sports Roundup. I am your host, JT Hill, today, and I have not made an AZ Sports Roundup podcast for a while. I think it's been about 2 months since I made one, and I was not even a podcast. It was just me saying that we were making a new one. The CFB Rundown. If you don't know what that is, I'll put the link in the description. It's our new podcast that we have started, and it's been great, but it's nice to be back on AZ Sports Roundup, and hopefully I do this a lot more. We finally are starting to settle in a little bit on the CFB Rundown, and we got the new studio, new mic. I think it's a lot better, and I really like it. But today we're just going to be going over Kenny Dillingham and what has been happening, mainly with ASU. So for starters, Arizona State is 8-3. They have 2 conference losses, so they're 6-2 in the conference. And then they have 1 non-conference loss against Mississippi State. But, yeah, definitely close to what we were thinking that they could have. I mean, they're 4th in their conference right now. They're tied for 3rd. They lost to Utah, so that's why they are 4th, and they're tied with Utah. But, I mean, they're not out of the Big 12 championship yet. A lot of chaos is going to have to happen. I'm not going to go in through that today. Quinn actually just made a video on that a couple days ago. But, yeah, that's where ASU stands right now. And I just want to talk about Kenny Dillingham and what the rumors have been about him, because he has been linked to a lot of coaching rumors and leaving ASU to go to other coaching jobs. So I'm basically going to give you my opinion and what I think is going to happen. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. It's a little bit late, but he's saying that he's not going. But in college football, that does not mean anything, because he could be saying that he's not going the next day he goes to Auburn or something. So this is my opinion, and I'm going to tell you if I kind of believe what Kenny Dillingham is saying and what the media is saying. So here is like the coaching places that he could maybe go to. I don't think that it's just 5 places that it's like you never know, but it's like good places. Like it's a football school and somewhat football. 4 of them are SEC and 1's Big Ten. It's Penn State, LSU, Florida, Auburn, and Arkansas. Now LSU or Florida could be taken this Saturday by Lane Kiffin, but that's just a rough estimate of like maybe he went to some of these spots. But the one that sticks out to me is Auburn. Now, Kenny Dillingham was the offensive coordinator at Auburn and the quarterback's coach in 2019. So he obviously has legit ties to Auburn, and he kind of went all over the place. He started out, I don't know where he started out, but he's been to Memphis. He's never been a head coach at anywhere but ASU, but he's been to Memphis. He's been to Oregon. He's been to Auburn, obviously. I think he's been to Florida State, too. So he's been at some pretty big colleges, and he definitely knows how to win with all of those cultures that they have. But, yeah, he has legit ties to Auburn, and I think if you're an Auburn fan, that's the guy that you want to hire. And there's a lot of other names out there that Auburn has for their coaching candidates, and I know an Auburn fan, and he's like, I do not want any of those guys. I want Kenny Dillingham. And here's why so much people like Auburn fans, LSU fans, Florida fans are like, dude, we need to get Kenny Dillingham. I got 3 traits or just things that Kenny Dillingham does that has led to ASU being great for the past 2 years. And one is he literally has the memory of a goldfish. And if you don't know that, he basically like forgets things super easily. Not like he has like a bad memory actually, but he purposely just forgets things. And he literally said that he's never satisfied after a game. Obviously, like in the locker room, whenever he wins, he's going to be happy celebrating with his team. But when he boards that plane on that late Saturday night, if he's going back home or he drives in his car back to his house, he is already on the next week, whether it's a win or a loss. Obviously, whenever it's a loss, it stings more. But if they win 40-0, the next day he's already looking on to next week. If they lose 40-0, he is already looking on to the next week. And you really need that trait as a coach, because a lot of coaches and players like to reminisce on the past and do all that type of stuff. But Kenny Dillingham knows how to get his culture right and be like, hey, we just won the Big 12 championship, but we're in the CFP. We got to go win that. And he's really good at doing that to his players. And then number two, about his players, he really does care about his players. You can just tell, and he cares about his entire staff. Actually, he compliments the grounds crew, the janitors, all of those people, and you just don't see college football coaches doing that. And yeah, that's like whenever he does that, you're like, okay, yeah, that's a legit coach. But yeah, he actually. So here's just a little story. I don't have the post. It was a while ago, but after the 2024 season, whenever they made it to the CFP, a couple players were transferred. Not a lot of transfers that year, but a couple of players were deciding to transfer out, and Kenny Dillingham goes and says, like on social media, he's like, hey, if you're looking to pick up someone in the transfer portal, you got to do this guy. He's a great blah, blah, blah. He's great at this, blah, 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 all that. And, I mean, there's two options where Kenny Dillingham could go here. He could be a jerk about it because they're leaving his program. Or the other option is you could be a legit coach and be like, hey, I'm going to help you with this. If you want to transfer, I'm going to help you with that. And most coaches don't do that. And then the last thing is he gets the era that all of these people are in. He's a young coach. He's 34 years old. And the NIL era just kind of skyrocketed whenever Kenny Dillingham was hired in 2023. And he gets the players so well because he's young and he's still learning. Jeff Sims, I think, is 24 years old. Kenny Dillingham is only 10 years older than his starting quarterback right now. That's absurd. You don't see that in sports, but especially college football. He's learning, though, and he's learning in an era that's so fast-paced, and that's why you learn so well with the era that we're in, the NIL era. And, yeah, for him to just – he gets the players. He cares about his players. He gets his players right, but he gets the era, like I said, and he understands NIL. But those are just like things that Kenny Dillingham is like, oh, this guy's awesome. I'm going to go to the fact, could Kenny Dillingham actually leave to go to an SEC school or a Big 10 school? Probably not going to go to a Big 12 or an ACC school. That's just not probably going to happen. But is Kenny Dillingham leaving ASU? And my take is probably different from your take, but this is my take. The average coach is going to take these offers. The Brian Kellys at Notre Dame are going to go to the big SEC school for a bunch of money and care about your coaching career, but be like, oh, I got $40 million in the bag. I don't really care. That is what a lot of coaches would do in this option. And I would say a great percentage of the coaches are chasing the money, chasing the fame, chasing all that stuff. They want to get to a championship, but the money is the goal. Money is great. Money is awesome. It would be cool if I had $10,000 to upgrade my podcast studio. I mean, I like it right now, but money is great. But a lot of people kind of think that that's what is going to like make you happy. And I mean, it's kind of sad that people think that, but you see those people and then you see the Kenny Dillinghams. And that is like, he does not, obviously, you need money to live. So he's not going to be like, okay, I'll come coach here for $10,000 a year. He's not going to say that. That's horrible. But the championship is his goal. Elevating his players to become NFL ready is his goal. His goal is not the money. His goal is to win a championship and be the best coach that he can be. And whether that makes him a bunch of bonuses or not, I don't think he really cares. And another thing is what people don't realize is Kenny Dillingham was born in Phoenix, Arizona. 10 minutes away from Tempe, 10, 15 minutes away from Tempe, Arizona, where the Sun Devils play football. That was, from the moment he was born, he was an ASU fan. He was a Suns fan. He was a Cardinals fan. So it's like, what more could you ask for? And this is literally his dream job. He has wanted to be the coach of ASU for a while, and he earned his way up there. And I truly do not think that what Kenny Dillingham has earned is not, he's not willing to give that up to go make some money at Auburn or to make money at LSU or Florida or Penn State. For him, that's just too valuable. And I'm not Kenny Dillingham, but that's just my take on just reading the body language and reading watching his press conferences. But what he's going through is actually hard. I mean, he probably has very, very big offers. And to be able to turn those down actually means that you care for your team. And like I said, in this era, not a lot of coaches and players are like this. And he is just built different. And he cares for this team, and I don't think that he'll leave until he gets fired or wins a national championship. Or he'll feel satisfied until he wins a national championship. And go watch his press conferences. I mean, he's legit. I did watch one where he literally said, I want to coach here until I get fired or win a natty. I really wish I found that video because I was looking for it. It was sometime this year, but what he's going through is hard because, I mean, if I was offered to leave, I was born in Maryland, so I love the Maryland Terps. If I was the head coach of Maryland and I had an offer to go to Alabama to make a bunch more money and it's Alabama, I mean, that would be a pretty tough decision for me. Obviously, it's my hometown, but it's Alabama. Now, you just don't find people like that nowadays that are willing to turn down that much money to stay at their hometown school. I mean, that's kind of sad, but it's the reality. So, props to Kenny Dillingham. He ain't leaving. It's been AZ Sports Roundup. One of your hosts, JT Hill. Hopefully, y'all like this episode and subscribe if you want to. Go check out our new channel, CFB Rundown. But at the end of the day, as long as you like our videos, that's it. See you. Thank you.